The scissors moved with a rhythm Daichi hadn't heard in 15 years, a beat that once meant safety, then betrayal, and now a ghost whispering in his ears.
Wait, that angle. The way the hair falls against the cape. I know this cut. I grew up with it.
For a moment, he was 8 years old again, sitting on that rickety booster seat, his father's hands guiding the scissors with the same impossible precision.
He's been dead for 5 years. I buried this cut with him. So how? Stop, right now. Don't make another cut.
Sir, did I do something wrong? It's just a classic cut.
Classic. Number. That's my father's cut. A style he invented. Tell me how you know it. Now.
Kaede's expression flickered, recognition, then a wall of silence. She said nothing.
I am done here.
Daichi tore the cape from his shoulders and walked out, the half-finished haircut, a mirror of the past he'd tried to escape. Outside, he leaned against the cold brick, a vow forming. He would come back. He would know the truth. He walked the dark streets, the half-cut a scar he couldn't escape. Inside, he dug through old boxes until he found it, the photo album his mother had made. Page 1. A younger him, fresh haircut, on his father's lap. Both were smiling, but 15 years ago, that same room saw him screaming he'd never become his father.
I said I hated him. I wished he wasn't my father. Then I left.
In the dark television screen, his reflection showed the half-cut, a ghost he couldn't outrun.
He died alone. And I never went to the funeral. I just kept running.
He shut the album. Tomorrow, he'd face that shop, no more hiding. At dawn, he laced his shoes with a finality that felt like a stand.
That barber knows something. Today, she's going to tell me.
At the shop, Kaede was halfway through unlocking the door when she caught Daichi's reflection in the glass. The half-cut still jagged, his stare a warrant.
You came back.
I am not here for a cut. We need to talk.
She let him in without a word. He didn't sit in the chair, he stood across from it, arms crossed like a shield.
Last night you pretended that cut was nothing, but you knew exactly what you were doing. I want the truth.
I didn't want to tell you in front of a customer, but you are right. That style isn't just a classic cut. Years ago, an old barber took me in when I was a struggling teenager. He taught me everything, including that cut. It was his signature. He was old-fashioned, didn't say much, but he was the kindest man I've ever met.
An old barber. Kind. Old-fashioned. He always said a good haircut carries the heart. My father said those exact same words. It can't be. This barber. What was his name?
Kaede's fingers hovered over the old toolbox on the shelf. She didn't turn around. The silence in the shop grew heavy, and Daichi knew the next word would change everything.
His name was Kenji Sato.
Kenji Sato. That's my father. She knows my father's name. Liar. You are lying. How could you know that name?
Kaede's hand went to her apron and retrieved a creased photograph. A faded image of a teenage girl and an older man in this very shop, his hand guiding hers on the scissors.
That's him. My father. Standing right there with her. You replaced me. He taught you instead of his own son.
He never replaced you. He talked about you constantly, how smart you were, how you had your mother's stubbornness. He wanted to reach out, but he was afraid you'd hang up.
He talked about me?
He was proud, and he missed you more than words could say. He wasn't bitter. He was hopeful you'd come back. He was the kindest man right up until the end.
How? How did he die? Tell me he didn't suffer alone.
He was sick, cancer, for almost a year, but he wasn't alone. I was there, and he talked about you every day. He taught me this cut and always said, "This is for my son. I hope he'll need it one day."
He spent his last days teaching her my cut. Why her? Why not pick up the phone for me?
Before he passed, he wrote letters, dozens of them, but he never sent a single one. He was scared.
Scared? He had a whole year to call. Instead, he wrote letters he couldn't even mail.
He thought you hated him. He was too proud and too ashamed to hear it from your voice.
The last thing I screamed was that I hated his craft. He must have thought, that was it. Show me the letter, please.
It's in the back with his tools. I'll bring them out.
Kaede disappeared into the back room, and Daichi stood frozen, the shop shrinking around a silence that held everything his father couldn't say. Kaede stepped back out, a worn, wooden box in one hand, and a yellowed envelope in the other, setting them on the counter like relics from another life.
These were his barber tools, and this is the last letter he wrote. He never sent it.
Daichi's eyes fixed on the box, but his hands stayed at his sides, paralyzed by a weight he couldn't name.
Would you like me to read it aloud? You don't have to do this alone.
My hands are stone. I can't even reach for it.
Despite the paralysis, his fingers twitched toward the envelope, drawn by a force he couldn't resist.
That's his handwriting. That's my father's hand.
Slowly, Daichi picked up the envelope, the paper yellowed and fragile, as if it might dissolve in his grip.
5 years. He's been gone 5 years, and he's still talking through paper.
His hands trembled, the weight of everything his father had left unsaid, pressing against the silence of the shop. Daichi unfolded the envelope with trembling hands, the paper rattling. The first line stole his breath entire. Daichi, if you are reading this, then I am already gone. I've carried regret heavier than this old body can bear. You were my proudest thing, my son. The day you stormed out was the day I stopped speaking. But I never stopped loving you. Kaede needed a family and a craft. Teaching her kept me close to the sun I couldn't reach. I hope one day you'll hold my tools. They were always meant for your hands, not mine. I am sorry, son, for every word I was too stubborn and proud to say. The paper slipped from his fingers and settled on the counter. Daichi's tears fell without sound, the shop's silence swallowing his grief.
He was proud. He was sorry. All this time, reaching out through silence, and I never heard him.
He turned from the wooden box to Kaede. The grief didn't feel like emptiness now. It felt like a debt he had to repay with his own hands. Kaede lifted the lid of the wooden box. Inside, on faded velvet, lay a pair of vintage scissors and a fine-tooth comb.
He cleaned these every night. A barber's soul lives in his tools, he always said.
I remember those hands. The way they never trembled, even when the argument split the room.
Daichi reached into the box and lifted the scissors. They felt heavier than they looked.
This is the weight of his hand. I'd forgotten.
He wanted you to have them, Daichi. He said these were meant for you.
He held them up to the light. For a moment, the shop became his father's, the shadows familiar.
He's not gone. He's here. In this metal. In this room.
He lowered the scissors and looked at Kaede. A question hung between them, unspoken but burning. The grief had a new shape now. Not a wound, but a purpose, and it terrified him.
Kaede, will you teach me this cut? I don't know if I can, but I want to try.
Of course. I was hoping you'd ask.
Kaede turned to a cabinet and pulled out a mannequin head, setting it in the chair as if it were a living customer.
Every cut is a conversation. Your father said that the first day I held scissors.
That's exactly what he used to say to me, word for word.
Daichi steadied his breathing and gripped the scissors. The weight felt like a promise.
I'll learn it. Every part. I owe him that.
Then, let's begin. Watch the angle of the comb first.
She positioned the comb and opened the scissors, her movements mirroring his father's, slow and deliberate. Daichi raised the scissors to the mannequin, his hand trembling but his heart steady for the first time in years. He made the cut, but the hair slipped through the scissors, uneven and jagged. His hand jerked back as if burned, frustration flooding his chest.
Even on a dummy, I can't get it right. My hands are useless.
You are pressing too hard. Let the comb guide the line. Breathe, Daichi.
Kaede's hand covered his warm and steady, adjusting the angle of the scissors against the comb.
Her hand is warm. She has his patience, his steady calm.
See? The comb holds the hair in place. Now follow the curve.
He tried again. This time, the scissors met the comb, and a clean sliver of hair fell to the floor.
It's a start. I'll be back tomorrow, same time.
He came every day, too, until his hands knew the cut by heart.
The first lesson ended not with mastery, but with a promise, and the scent of old wood and talc lingering in the quiet. Weeks passed. Each night, Daichi returned to the mannequin, the scissors heavy with his father's absence, but progress was glacial. The cut remained uneven, a jagged mockery of the precision he remembered. He slammed the scissors onto the counter. The comb clattered. The sound was a verdict.
I'll never be him. These hands don't have his gift.
The door chimed. Kaede stood in the doorway, a forgotten notebook in her hand, her eyes finding his defeated posture.
Daichi? It's late. I came back for my book. But what's wrong?
She set down the notebook and sat beside him on the cold floor, her voice barely above a whisper.
Your father used to say, the scissors are a barber's voice. He struggled too, Daichi. For years, every cut he gave you was his way of saying, I love you, when the words wouldn't come.
His eyes widened. Then, he picked up the scissors again. This time, his hands didn't shake. The night before, he had stayed until dawn. The mannequin's hair finally fell into place, clean, symmetrical, the exact shape his father's hands had crafted. Kaede arrived early, as if she knew. She circled the mannequin, her fingers tracing the lines without touching.
It's perfect. You are ready for a real customer.
Ready? My hands are still shaking just thinking about it. No, I am not ready. I'll ruin someone's hair. They'll walk out.
You've put in the work. Trust me, there's a customer who always asks for this cut, Mr. Tanaka. He'll be patient.
The name hit him. Mr. Tanaka was one of his father's oldest clients, a face frozen in childhood memory.
If I mess up, it's not just me I am embarrassing. It's Dad.
I'll call him for tomorrow morning. You'll be fine.
Daichi gripped his father's scissors, the metal warming in his palm. Tomorrow, the chair would hold a living person. The morning sun slanted through the shop windows as an elderly man lowered himself into the barber chair, his eyes crinkling with trust.
That's really him. The man who visited my father every month for 20 years.
His hands trembled as he lifted the shears, the comb, unsteady against the old man's silver hair. But then a memory surfaced, not of an argument, but of steady, patient hands guiding the comb through his own hair as a child. He exhaled, and the scissors moved. The first snip was clean. The tension in his shoulders loosened. Kaede stood to the side, holding her breath. But as the cut took shape, a small smile formed on her lips. When Daichi finally stepped back, Mr. Tanaka stared at his reflection, his eyes glistening. He whispered, "This cut, it's exactly like Kenji-san's." Daichi's grip on the scissors loosened. He looked up, meeting Kaede's eyes across the room. He glanced at the memorial chair in the corner, then down at his father's scissors. 5 years of silence, broken by a single cut.
Thank you, Dad. I finally heard you.
In the weeks that followed, the shop quietly filled with customers asking for the Kenji cut by name.
You've become the talk of the neighborhood. I think Mr. Tanaka told everyone.
It still feels like I'm borrowing his hands.
Kaede paused, her cloth stilled on the counter, her gaze soft but searching.
You never told me why you kept this shop running. Was it just for the craft?
Kenji-san gave me a purpose when I had nothing. This shop was my way of thanking him.
She gestured toward the memorial chair, her voice dropping.
I promised myself I'd keep his memory alive until his son returned, even if it took years.
Daichi's chest tightened. The weight of her devotion settled over him.
She waited for me. For years, alone. How did I not see it sooner?
That evening, Daichi returned to find Kaede alone by the memorial chair, her shoulders shaking in the dim light.
I am sorry. I didn't want you to see this. Some days it just hits me. I've been here for years, but sometimes I feel like an intruder in his shop. in his life.
Daichi stepped forward, the distance between them closing with a quiet certainty.
You are not an intruder. This shop, these tools, they're as much yours as mine. Stay with me. Run the shop together. Be my partner, not just in business.
Daichi, are you sure? My whole life has been waiting for someone to say that.
I've never been more sure. You are family, Kaede. My family.
She nodded, a wet laugh escaping, and fell into his arms. The memorial chair sat quietly, witnessing. The shop felt whole again, its two hearts beating in time, bound by scissors and a promise. A month later, the shop doors closed for a private ceremony. Friends filled the room, the memorial chair draped in white ribbon, Kenji's photo witnessing. Daichi slid a simple gold band onto Kaede's finger, his hand as steady as when he held the scissors.
With these scissors, I found my father. With you, I found my home.
You gave me a family, Daichi. I'll cherish it forever.
They kissed, and the small crowd's applause echoed off the wooden walls, sealing the promise. Seasons turned. The shop hummed with life. One spring morning, Kaede placed a positive test into Daichi's palm.
A father. The word feels heavier than the scissors, but my hands are ready.
Kenji-san would be overjoyed. His legacy will continue.
They cleared a corner near the memorial chair, setting up a soft mat and a toy comb. The shop awaited its newest heart. The scissors rested in their box, shining, a promise for the day a little head would need its first cut. Yuki was born on a quiet autumn morning. Daichi held the tiny bundle in the same steady hands that wielded his father's scissors. By 2 years old, Yuki's favorite toy was a plastic comb, dragging it through imaginary hair near the memorial chair.
That's Grandpa Kenji. Yuki. He taught Daddy how to do this.
At 5, Yuki's black hair fell past his ears. He often climbed onto the barber chair, watching customers and mimicking his father.
Daddy, can I have the grandpa cut? Like in the picture.
He's asking for Dad's cut. The same one I escaped, then found again.
Across the room, Kaede paused and met Daichi's eyes. No words passed, but the moment hummed with a shared understanding.
Of course, buddy. That's a special cut. Let's get you ready.
Daichi lifted Yuki higher in the chair, the cape settling over his small shoulders. The mirror reflected 3 generations in one frame. He reached for his father's scissors. The shop fell silent, holding its breath for the first snip. The scissors opened, the comb parted Yuki's black hair, and Daichi made the first cut. The sound was a melody he'd known since childhood. A lock of hair fell onto the cape, then another. The cut began to take shape, the same angles, the same rhythm.
My father's hands are in mine. I can feel him.
Tears blurred his vision. He paused, his breath catching. Then a soft touch landed on his back. Kaede's hand, steady as always.
Keep going. He's watching, and he's so proud.
Daichi nodded, swallowed the lump in his throat, and kept cutting. Each snip felt like a stitch closing an old wound.
Daddy, it looks just like Grandpa, and like you.
The final cut fell. The Kenji cut sat perfectly on Yuki, a mirror of 3 generations, Daichi's chest filled with a piece he'd never known. Daichi set the scissors down, lifted Yuki from the chair, and held him tight, tears wetting the small cape, his son's arms around his neck. Kaede wrapped her arms around them both, her own tears falling. The shop was filled not with silence, but with a quiet, enduring song. The embrace loosened. Daichi brushed Yuki's hair from his eyes and walked toward the memorial chair with a quiet, measured step. From his pocket, he took a small photograph of Yuki, the fresh Kenji cut framing his grin. He placed it beside Kenji's photo, the 2 faces beaming under the soft lamp.
I did it, Dad. His first cut. Your cut.
Kaede moved beside him, sliding her hand into his. She looked at the 2 photos and smiled through her tears.
His wish finally came true.
Yuki toddled over, his new haircut still settling. He tapped the photo of Kenji.
Is Grandpa happy?
Yes, Yuki. Grandpa is very happy.
The shop exhaled. 2 photos side by side, a pair of scissors shining in the lamplight, and a silence that was finally completely at rest. Evening folded over the shop. Daichi swept, Kaede wiped the counter, and the last customer's chair was silent. Yuki sat cross-legged by the memorial chair, a doll in his lap, plastic scissors snipping the air with fierce concentration.
Snip, snip. I am making Grandpa's cut, Daddy.
Daichi leaned on his broom, watching his son mirror a legacy he once tried to bury. He moved to the memorial chair, his fingers resting on the armrest. The two photos smiled up at him with Kenji's quiet pride.
From a stranger's shop to the center of my world. My father's legacy, my wife's devotion, my son's laughter. How could a heart hold this much?
Time to go home, you two. Yuki's bath is waiting.
Daichi lifted Yuki onto his hip, brushing the hair from his son's eyes, the same cut his father gave him. At the door, he glanced back. The memorial lamp still glowed, casting light on the scissors and comb. A promise unbroken, shining in the dark. Daichi switched off the main lights. Only the memorial chair remained, a quiet sentinel, the scissors gleaming with all the love that never faded. Years passed quietly after that evening. The shop hummed with life, and Yuki grew from a boy with plastic scissors to a 10-year-old with steady determination. He stood on a stool, a mannequin head before him, the vintage scissors in his grip. Daichi's hand hovered nearby.
Angle the comb slightly more. Don't fight the hair, guide it. That's how Grandpa Kenji taught me.
Like this, Dad?
Perfect. Now breathe, and let the scissors do the work.
Kaede watched from the counter, her chin resting on her hand. The sight of Daichi's patience, so familiar, so inherited, made her heart swell.
He has your hands, Daichi, and his heart.
Daichi's grip on Yuki's hand adjusted the comb, the very same correction Kenji once gave him. The shop was filled with ghosts, but only the gentle kind.
Dad, when I get older, can I be a barber too? Like you and Grandpa?
Nothing would make us prouder, Yuki.
Morning light washed through the empty shop, dust motes drifting like time slowed to a crawl. On the memorial chair, Yuki's first barber cape lay folded, small and faded beside the wooden toolbox. Above it, the framed note from Kenji hung on the wall, his careful handwriting a permanent whisper. Daichi stood alone before the chair. His fingers brushed the edge of the cape, a smile ghosting his lips.
I found you again, Dad. In the cut, in the comb, in every pair of eyes that looked into this mirror.
The scissors and comb rested in the open box, crossed and gleaming, a silent benediction. He picked up the comb, feeling the grooves worn by his father's steady hand. Then he set it back, gently, the way you close a chapter without ending the story. The door chimed softly as he left, the lock clicking into place. The shop settled into quiet anticipation, and the scissors sat patient, ready for the next pair of hands that would one day lift them and start the song again.